Hey guys, Raj here. Hope you guys are well. Today I'm doing a fragrance review on Frederic Malle again. So I have reviewed Dries Van Noten by Frederic Malle recently. Now I'm on to one called French Lover, also known as Bois d'Orage. Interesting name, I have to say. So, French Lover, what is this fragrance all about? Well, first of all, before I go into all of that, it comes in three sizes. Um, a pack of 10 mls, three of them, so you get 30 ml in total for £75, a 50 ml for 110, and 100 ml for 155. I have to say, these Frederic Malle fragrances aren't cheap nowadays. I think the prices have gone up. So this one, French Lover, Bois d'Orage, it's known as in other parts of the world, is an unmistakably masculine fragrance, I would say. When I say that, what I mean is it's more likely to be worn by a guy. I can't see any woman really gravitating towards this scent in terms of wearing it for themselves. I think it's quite a good fragrance to be worn in kind of autumn, springtime. It's almost like a classic man's fragrance done with this Frederic Malle twist. The actual fragrance was created by Pierre Bourdon, and I think it fits very nicely within the Edition de Parfums range. They all have this kind of elegance and sophistication, and they're all done at a higher level, I feel, to a lot of others compared to a lot of other stuff that is out there. This one maybe not so much to the extent that I just said, but definitely is an interesting scent, and I'm going to talk about that. Obviously, notes in this fragrance, you've got angelica, there is cedarwood, vetiver, which I think plays a really big role in this, iris, pimento, galbanum, also quite a big player, patchouli, incense, and musk. This is a very green scent. I feel that this is a kind of very wet, earthy vetiver type scent, which is the main player in this fragrance. And in the opening, yeah, galbanum is a note that I've only become accustomed with in by smelling fragrances. Like I've never smelt it in the real world, if that makes sense, or like an actual galbanum. Is it? I think it's a plant. I think it's a plant. Maybe I probably should have done my research. But yeah, it definitely plays a big part in this, and it's almost slightly earthy, kind of wet and powdery at the same time. It definitely is quite an interesting note. It's not my favorite. It kind of lends itself towards being like a moss type accord, and I have to say I like galbanum, but it's not my favorite note, I have to be honest. In there you've got this, again, another wet, earthy, continuing with this theme, vetiver note in there. It's not smoky, it's very dry, and it's very smooth actually. I think all the rough edges have been rounded out kind of quite nicely. I do prefer my vetivers on the fresher side, but this is joined by this damp accord. I'm not quite sure where that's coming from. Maybe a mixture of the vetiver and the galbanum playing a part. That definitely could play a part in there. There's a slight powderiness which maybe comes from the iris, but I don't really detect iris as obviously as I do, or as obvious as it is in other notes. This vetiver note then starts to transform into something which is a little bit weird, I have to be honest. After a couple of hours, or after about an hour, I don't really enjoy this accord, this fragrance. The vetiver smells very dull, like just completely dead and lifeless. I like vetiver in fragrances like you've got Guerlain, you've got Tom Ford uses it quite well, Roger Parfum. Sense, kind of like that, but the smell is kind of very dank. It smells like rotting wood. Maybe that's from the cedar wood, and it's all very sort of depressing, this fragrance, to be honest. I don't really get it. I don't really get it at all. But I don't think it smells bad. That's the thing. I just don't quite connect with this fragrance. It's definitely some good notes used in there. It's interesting that this fragrance was made by Pierre Bourdon, because at times it reminds me of Green Irish Tweed. There is this vetiver in here, there's iris, there's cedarwood, maybe a few comparisons to Green Irish Tweed, kind of, But Green Irish Tweed is a bit more of an uplifting scent, and I feel it's a much better. Very different. There's no point in me comparing them, but yeah, after a while, there's maybe like a tea, almost a pepper type of notes in here, which it's not mentioned, but I definitely get that. It is almost like a leafy tea type accord, which actually is kind of interesting. But again, if you think about everything that I've said, wet vetiver, dank cedarwood, you know, this kind of tea accord, it's all very on the kind of earthy side. It's all very on the kind of mildly smoky side. There's no bright notes in here. Yeah, that's actually the best thing I can say. It's not a very bright fragrance, but would work well on a rainy day in maybe autumn. You know, definitely in spring. I think autumn and spring are definitely the best seasons to wear this fragrance. But yeah, another one from the Frederic Malle Edition de Parfum line that I don't really connect with, but I can see why this would be liked by a lot of men. It's definitely has a lot of notes in there which you find in a lot of men's fragrances, but not really for me, to be honest. Not really for me. And to be honest, I'm going to give this a rating of 6.5, which is not high, but it's not low either. I'm kind of very indifferent about this scent. I wore the decant, you know, to give it a fair shot, but even when I wore it, it wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm going to wear French Lover today. It was like, I can't really decide what to wear, let me just wear this. Yeah, it's not for me the best fragrance I'll ever smell, but it can be for a lot of people, and if you are one of those people, why do you love this fragrance? Tell me what you like about it. Maybe it's my skin, who knows. Yeah, there you go guys, let me know your thoughts. Check out my Facebook page. I appreciate it if you could hit the like button if you want to follow what I'm getting up to in terms of scents of the days and kind of stuff like that. I do need to start posting a little bit more, but yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.